Hey Devin, it's time to wake up. You got a show to perform.
A new show to perform? All right, I'm excited.
I know you are. Why don't you go take a shower before you leave?
This show is called The Powers of the Heroes Part 1, The 16 Elements. Do keep in mind that this is all fictional and is not to offend anyone. Hey folks, I'm Deven. Welcome back to my channel. So my previous video was called The List of Do's and Don'ts with the Heroes. And I should have realized that the do's and don'ts were actually the same thing as the rules. So we'll just call it the rules of encountering Cybernothan and his friends part 2. Okay, back to business. So we are here to talk about powers. Sometimes people just want to have the abilities to manipulate something. But what powers do you want to have? First, let's look at elements. We all know about the 4 elements: earth, water, fire, and air. These are called primary elements. Just think of them as like the primary colors you find on a color wheel when you take art class. You know the color wheel in art, the primary colors are blue, yellow, and red, and the secondary colors are orange, green, and purple. Now, what are the secondary elements? The secondary elements are undead, life, tech, and magic. But how do you create a secondary element? To make a secondary element, 2 primary elements have to have relationship with each other. But the fun does not stop there because there are 4 tertiary elements. The 4 tertiary elements are dark, light, spirit, and evil. However, making tertiary elements is not easy. That's because a primary element has to have a relationship with a secondary element. Fortunately, when you make a tertiary element, you can make a quaternary element. The quaternary elements are time, space, poison, and dimension. Making the quaternary elements is not easy. But what I can say is each element is pretty unique in their own way. And if you do want these elemental powers, you might want to look for the correct elemental gemstones. These right here are gemstones, and these right here are the shards. If you want to have these elemental powers, you must wear jewelry with the stone on it or have your bones turn into a specific stone. And since Cybernothan and his friends and his family are permanently barefoot, they must wear toe rings at all costs. And since the toe rings have gemstones that have been affected by the princesses of the gemstones, their feet are well protected from hazards. And when you think of hazards, you're supposed to think of dangerous objects that will hurt you. If you want to be like Cybernothan and his friends and his family, you have to be permanently barefoot and you must wear toe rings like this. Pay attention to where the arrows are pointing at. The toe rings with the lapis lazuli gemstones go on these toes. They can moisturize your feet and prevent you from having dead skin. The toe rings with the ruby gemstones go on these toes. They can protect your feet from extreme hot and extreme cold weather and prevent frostbites. The toe rings with these smoky quartz gemstones go on these toes. They'll make your feet stronger and immune to any smacks or any attacks. The toe rings with the pearl gemstones go on these toes. They can prevent your feet from getting dirty, stinky, sweaty, etc. And the toe rings with the tourmaline gemstones go on these toes. Would you want to laugh or cry when your feet are tickled? So basically, the magic tourmaline just makes your feet more sensitive to tickles, while the other gemstones just protect your feet from dangerous hazards. But how do the stones make you have powers? Well, you have to feel their powers in your bones. Let's start things off with water. Now, what do water superheroes do? Well, we can start things off with the water superheroes can breathe underwater. You already know that Aquaman can breathe underwater, but did you know that if you're a water superhero, you have that ability too? But don't get comfortable with that because some water superheroes don't just breathe underwater, they can do some other stuff too. All water superheroes can breathe underwater and walk on ice without slipping. Some water superheroes can manipulate ice since ice has a relationship with water. Here are some of the water superheroes. We have Cybernoffen, his sister Ice Girl, their mother Miss Soap, Cybernoffen's daughter Dolphin Girl, Soda Girl, Chlorine Girl, Yeti Girl, and Water Zapper. And now we move to fire. Fire is a primary element that brings heat and warmth. If you're a fire superhero, you can walk on lava without getting hurt, and you can walk through extreme hot areas and extreme cold areas. Unfortunately, if you want to walk on lava without getting hurt, you have to be barefoot. But don't worry, your feet will be perfectly fine. Before I show you some fire superheroes, just keep in mind that not all fire superheroes can fly. Here are some of the fire superheroes. We have Blaze Girl, Cybernoffen's wife Heatstroke, Fire Drill, Phoenix Girl, Fire Juggler, Arizona Spicer, Solar Blaze, and Suntan. Next on the list is Earth. Earth is a primary element that allows you to manipulate rocks, dirt, sand, dust, etc. Even though that earth can make you strong, you really need to be careful with this element because this element is a bone breaker. At least it can prevent you from sinking in the quicksand. But unfortunately, you have to be barefoot in order for this ability to work. Just keep in mind that all Earth superheroes have super strength. Here are the 4 Earth superheroes. Their names are Sandcastle, Hellclops, the I is silent in that name, Crystal Princess, and Mud Boy. Crystal Princess lives in Egypt with her cousin, the Queen of Egypt, who is also an Earth superhero. It's now time for Air. Air is a primary element that allows you to manipulate weather. What is cool about being an air superhero is that you can walk on clouds without making them fade away. Some air superheroes can manipulate lightning, and some of them love to spin. Unfortunately, in order for the air superheroes to use clouds as solid platforms, they have to be barefoot. So if you're an air superhero and you're not barefoot, start hoping that you can fly. At least you can spin, and that's a good thing. Here are some of the air superheroes. We have Mr. Lightning, Lightning Rider, Tornado Girl, Hurricane Girl, Thunderstorm Girl, and Nightmare. Nightmare is the only hero with 6 toes on each foot. Since this video is taking way too long, I'm just going to show you the pictures and just tell you about the rest of the elements. Here are the Undead superheroes, and here are their names. Undead is a secondary element where you can manipulate anything that is dead. Undead can look something like Halloween. Here are the Life superheroes, and here are their names. Life is a secondary element where you get to manipulate plants and trees and all that kind of stuff. Think of life as Mother Nature, but without weather. Here are some of the tech superheroes. And here are their names. Tech is a secondary element that deals with machines. If you're a tech superhero, then you can build robots and work on lots of technology that you can think of. Here are some of the magic superheroes, and here are their names. Magic is a secondary element that allows you to perform anything. Sometimes magic can make you fly, teleport, or be telekinetic, but you really need to be careful with magic because that can also be a bone breaker. Here are some of the dark superheroes, and here are their names. Dark is a tertiary element that allows you to see things in the dark without a flashlight and hide from your opponents. What is cool about dark is that if you're a dark superhero, you're immune to sleeping gas. Dark Black and Dark Blood are brothers. Blackberry Twist and Huckleberry Spike are sisters, just like how Bomb Boy and Slime Boy are brothers to each other. Here are some of the light superheroes, and here are their names. Light is a tertiary element that allows you to glow in the dark. What is cool about light is that not only can you glow in the dark, but you can also conduct electricity. Here are some of the spirit superheroes, and here are their names. Spirit is a tertiary element that brings you good luck. You must treat spirit with respect or spirit will drag you to Sorry about that. Anyway, here are some of the evil superheroes, and here are their names. Evil is a tertiary element that can give you endless nightmares. Evil is similar to Dark and Undead, but this one is more powerful. Mr. Pitch is Silent Knight's husband. Here are the Time superheroes, and here are their names. Time is a quaternary element that allows you to manipulate time. But when you manipulate time, you can make time go faster, slower, make time go backwards, or time travel. I'm sure there will be more time heroes, we just need to wait and see. Here are the space heroes, and here are their names. Space is a quaternary element that allows you to fly, manipulate gravity, and be telekinetic. Space can be very dangerous because when you go to space, there is no gravity. I'm sure there will be more space superheroes, but don't worry, there will be male space superheroes, I promise. Here are the poison superheroes, and here are their names. Poison is a quaternary element that is dangerous to manipulate. When you manipulate poison, you can end up killing someone or killing any living creatures. I'm sure there will be more poison superheroes than these two, and don't worry, there will be male superheroes, I promise. And now we have reached to our final element, Dimension. Here are the Dimension heroes, and here are their names. Dimension is a quaternary element that should not be manipulated at any cost. However, if you want to manipulate Dimension, you have to learn how to break the fourth wall. And not only that, you also have to be a perfectionist. It can take years to manipulate Dimension. This element is worse than poison. Petunia Annabelle Bachelor is Phoebe Angel Blanchard's cousin. Summer Hope is Frida Hope's cousin. Before I end this video, I want to show you how you're supposed to wear these toe rings on your toes if you decide to join the autistic superheroes. If you enjoyed this video, will you please give it a thumbs up and share this video with your friends? And remember to click the subscribe button and the bell button so that you'll get notified about my future videos. Remember to follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. All of my videos will premiere every Wednesday at 12 o'clock p.m., so don't forget to set your reminders. Since next Wednesday is Valentine's Day, I'm going to do something special on my next video. But as always, thank you all for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Deven Chisum saying peace out, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.